Did you know that one quiet night in Paris became the moment when the Blessed Mother revealed a grace destined to change the world forever? A young sister followed a mysterious call and stood before Mary, shining with light, bearing a message of mercy for every generation. From that humble chapel began a devotion flowing from the heart of Our Lady herself. This is the story of the Miraculous Medal. Before beginning, drop an Ave Maria in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more stories of Our Lady. Don't forget to share it so others may discover this story and be inspired to live holier lives. Chapter 1: 19th Century France and the Spiritual Life of Catherine Labouré. France, in the early 19th century, was slowly healing after the storms of revolution and the harsh waves of anti-Christian persecution that had wounded its soul. Churches were reopening, scattered communities were rebuilding their hopes, and ordinary families were learning to trust again. Beneath the surface, quiet desires for God continued to live, waiting for grace to restore peace and strengthen a nation, searching for spiritual stability in those difficult years. In Paris, the restless noise of growing streets and shifting politics could not silence the hidden life of prayer sustained by religious communities. Convents sheltered devotion, charity, and patient perseverance, becoming small lamps of light in a troubled time. Their fidelity preserved hope for countless souls seeking direction. Quiet chapels, humble works, and Eucharistic adoration reminded the city that Christ still dwelt among his people, guiding them gently even when society struggled. Among these communities, the small chapel on Rue du Bac became a quiet heart of the city, where the Daughters of Charity prayed, listened to Scripture, and welcomed Christ in the poor. Many who entered sensed a tender nearness of Mary, as though her presence surrounded the sanctuary. The sisters' service to the sick and abandoned mirrored the gospel with simplicity. Their daily fidelity allowed grace to flow gently, nurturing trust peacefully. Into this setting came Catherine Labouré, born into a devout rural family where prayer shaped daily life. Her childhood was marked by a steady love for the Blessed Virgin, whom she approached with simple confidence. Catherine believed Mary guided her gently, especially in sorrow. The rhythms of farm work and family devotion formed her character. She grew attentive to God's movements, seeing his providence in ordinary events long before her path led. Those who met Catherine remembered her gentle voice, patient listening, and quiet readiness to help. Nothing about her sought attention, yet many sensed a depth of grace within her life. She possessed a spiritual intuition that allowed her to perceive God's invitations in simple duties. Years of humility, silence, and trust shaped her interior world. Even before entering the convent, her heart leaned naturally toward prayer, charity, and a serene openness to. When Catherine entered the Daughters of Charity, she embraced a hidden path marked by steady love and humble service. She worked in silence, offering ordinary tasks with devotion. Her strength flowed from long moments in the chapel, where she prayed before the tabernacle with childlike trust. She confided her hopes honestly to Jesus and Mary. In this daily rhythm, her heart deepened, learning to surrender everything gently into God's hands through quiet. Within this atmosphere of silence, charity, and steady prayer, the Lord was quietly preparing Catherine for an extraordinary mission. She did not foresee anything remarkable, yet heaven watched her faithful steps. Each act of kindness strengthened her spirit. Each prayer opened her heart to grace. Unbeknownst to her, God was shaping a vessel ready to receive a message for the entire world, as Mary would soon draw near with a. Chapter 2: The First Apparition on the night of the 18th of July, 1830. Catherine was awakened gently by the voice of a child calling her name with surprising clarity and tenderness. Opening her eyes, she saw a small boy standing beside her bed, inviting her to follow. Though startled, she felt a deep peace within. Trusting the mysterious guide, she rose quietly and walked behind him through silent corridors toward the chapel, unaware that heaven was drawing near in a grace-filled encounter. When they arrived, the chapel lay bathed in an unexpected radiance, brighter than any earthly lamp. The sanctuary seemed alive, with a gentle light that softened every shadow. Catherine felt her heart tremble, sensing the presence of the divine. The silence was profound, yet full of warmth, as though the walls themselves were breathing prayer. In that sacred stillness, the young sister waited, humble and attentive, for whatever God desired to reveal. Suddenly, the Blessed Virgin appeared, seated near the altar, shining with a tenderness beyond earthly beauty. Catherine approached and knelt by her side, overwhelmed yet peaceful. Mary spoke with motherly affection, telling her that God wished to entrust her with a special mission for the needs of their time. These words reached Catherine's soul deeply, awakening both reverence and a quiet readiness for whatever the Lord might ask. With sorrowful sweetness, Mary began to speak of painful events that would soon come upon France and the Church. She described trials that would shake the hearts of many and test the faith of countless souls. Catherine listened with compassion, sensing the weight of Mary's concern for her children. The Virgin's voice remained gentle, yet carried the certainty of a mother who sees danger approaching and desires to prepare her beloved family. Then Mary looked tenderly into Catherine's eyes and encouraged her not to be afraid, reminding her that God's grace would sustain her through every challenge. The Blessed Mother assured her that divine help would never fail those who trust sincerely. Catherine felt strength rising within as she listened, realizing that even in suffering, heaven remained near. Mary's presence brought courage that settled quietly and deeply into her young heart. Before leaving, the Blessed Virgin asked Catherine to share everything she had seen and heard with her confessor in humble obedience and trust. Catherine received this instruction with reverence, recognizing that God's will would unfold through the guidance of the Church. Though she did not yet understand the fullness of her mission, she knew her path would be walked in fidelity, transparency, and complete surrender to divine direction. As the vision faded, Catherine remained in prayer, realizing that this encounter was only the beginning. The first apparition served as preparation, strengthening her heart for the great revelation that would come months later. Though she returned quietly to her room, her soul carried a new light. Heaven had touched earth, and the young sister had been chosen to receive a message destined to bless generations with Mary's motherly love. Chapter 3. The Second Apparition on the 27th of November, 1830. During her quiet evening prayer, Catherine felt once again surrounded by a heavenly radiance that filled the chapel with peace. The familiar stillness deepened as light descended gently, wrapping her in a warmth that lifted her heart toward God. She understood that Mary was drawing near once more, and she opened her soul with humble readiness. Everything around her seemed touched by grace, preparing her for a vision unlike any she had known. Before her appeared the Blessed Virgin, standing upon a globe that represented the world entrusted to divine mercy. Mary's figure shone with serene majesty, and she was framed within an oval of dazzling light. The gentle brilliance revealed both her closeness and her queenly dignity. Catherine gazed in awe, sensing heaven reaching into earth through the Mother of God. It was a moment suspended between time and eternity, full of tenderness and silent wonder. Catherine then noticed that Mary's hands were adorned with rings set with precious stones of different sizes. From these jewels streamed rays of radiant light, falling toward the earth like countless blessings. The vision was alive with movement, as though grace itself was pouring forth in shimmering streams. Catherine felt the beauty of Mary's love expressed in every beam, each one carrying a blessing meant to renew, comfort, and strengthen souls in need. Mary spoke with gentle clarity, explaining that the rays of light symbolized the graces God grants through her intercession. But some jewels emitted no light, appearing quiet and dim. The Blessed Mother revealed that these darkened stones represented graces that people forgot to ask for, gifts left unopened because hearts failed to turn toward God. Catherine listened with sorrow and gratitude, realizing how deeply Mary longed to help all who sought her. Around the vision appeared a luminous inscription forming an elegant frame around Mary. The words read, "O Mary conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to thee." The prayer glowed with purity and strength, expressing both praise and humble trust. Catherine felt the truth of these words settle into her heart, revealing Mary as the spotless mother who intercedes tirelessly for her children before the throne of divine love. As Catherine continued contemplating the vision, the oval frame rotated gently, revealing the reverse image intended for the medal. She saw the cross rising from the letter M, the Sacred Heart of Jesus crowned with thorns, and the Immaculate Heart of Mary pierced with a sword, all surrounded by 12 radiant stars. The symbols spoke of sacrifice, love, and the Church's hope. Catherine understood that this sign carried a profound spiritual message. Finally, Mary entrusted Catherine with a mission filled with mercy. The Blessed Mother instructed her to have a medal struck exactly according to the images she had seen. She promised that all who wore it with faith would receive abundant graces. Catherine felt the weight and beauty of the call, knowing heaven had placed into her hands a gift meant to bring comfort, healing, and conversion to countless souls throughout the world. Chapter 4. The Symbols of the Miraculous Medal. In the Miraculous Medal, the image of Mary standing upon the globe expresses her role as mother of all humanity and guide of salvation history. Her placement above the world reminds believers that she accompanies every nation with maternal care. This symbol invites the faithful to trust her presence, for she leads hearts toward Christ and helps them walk safely through joys, trials, and the pilgrimage of Christian life each day peacefully. Beneath Mary's feet lies the serpent, a symbol drawn from the promise of Genesis, where enmity was placed between the woman and the power of evil. This sign expresses her victory through the redeeming grace of Christ, the Son she carried with perfect faith. Believers see in this image a reminder that evil cannot prevail over those who walk with Mary, for she intercedes to protect her children in every spiritual struggle. The rays streaming from Mary's hands symbolize the graces God pours upon the world through her loving intercession. They express mercy offered to the sick, comfort for the sorrowful, and strength for the weary. Catherine understood these rays as signs of the mother's tenderness, reaching the most hidden wounds of the heart. The faithful learn through this symbol that no prayer is forgotten when it is entrusted to Mary with devotion. The shining inscription surrounding the image, proclaiming Mary's immaculate conception, affirms her unique grace and purity. This prayer, cherished by the Church, invites believers to seek her protection with confidence. It reflects the truth later defined solemnly in 1854, yet was already embraced in the heart of Christian devotion. Through these words, the faithful recognize Mary as the spotless mother who leads them to holiness and helps them remain faithful to God. On the reverse of the medal, the large letter M, joined with the cross, expresses Mary's intimate union with the sacrifice of her Son. This symbol speaks of her presence at the foot of the cross and her sharing in the suffering love that redeems the world. Believers are reminded that she stands beside every disciple who carries the cross, offering comfort, courage, and a mother's guidance in times of trial. Beneath the monogram appear the two hearts, the Sacred Heart of Jesus crowned with thorns, and the Immaculate Heart of Mary pierced by a sword. Together, they reveal divine love offered through suffering, inviting believers into deep communion with Christ and his mother. This symbol teaches that love grows through sacrifice, and that Mary accompanies every disciple who seeks to live with compassion, fidelity, and trust in God's transforming mercy each day. Encircling the image are 12 stars, recalling the woman of Revelation and the apostolic foundation of the Church. These stars symbolize Mary's role as radiant guide of believers, shining with hope and fidelity. They remind the faithful that she stands beside the Church in every age, helping them resist darkness and remain centered on Christ. Through this symbol, Christians learn to lift their eyes toward the light that leads them toward life. Chapter 5. The First Creation and the Miraculous Spread of the Medal. After the apparitions, Catherine shared the vision with Father Aladel, her confessor, who listened with pastoral care and wise discernment. He recognized her sincerity yet guarded her identity for 46 years, allowing her to remain hidden in humble silence. Through prayer and patient guidance, he helped her understand that God's work unfolds quietly. Catherine trusted him completely, offering her experiences in obedience, seeking only God's will in every step. Once Father Aladel had examined the details carefully, he brought the matter to Archbishop Hyacinthe Louis de Quelen of Paris. The Archbishop approached the account with caution, weighing Catherine's humility and the spiritual fruits already visible within the community. His responsibility was to protect the Church while remaining open to the movements of grace. After thoughtful discernment and prayer, he permitted the vision to be considered for the creation of a devotional medal. In 1832, the first medals were struck by the skilled goldsmith Adrien Vachette, who worked with precision to reproduce the imagery Catherine had described. Each detail was crafted with reverence, from the rays of grace to the intertwined hearts. Holding the first medals felt like receiving a small piece of heaven's tenderness. Though simple in form, they carried a profound spiritual message. Catherine's heart rejoiced quietly, knowing the Blessed Mother's request had been fulfilled faithfully. At first, the medal bore the name Medal of the Immaculate Conception, reflecting its theological message and the prayer inscribed around the image. This title emphasized Mary's purity and the grace she received from God. Those who received the medal wore it with devotion, finding comfort in its symbols. The sisters who distributed it sensed that the medal touched hearts in ways beyond their understanding, preparing the ground for many blessings to come. When a devastating cholera epidemic swept through Paris, the Daughters of Charity distributed the medal widely among the sick and suffering. As they prayed with the afflicted, remarkable healings and sudden recoveries began to occur. Families who had lost hope found strength again. The sisters saw firsthand that Mary's motherly help was reaching the most desperate. The medal soon became a sign of consolation, carried with gratitude by those who experienced grace. Stories of these healings spread quickly through neighborhoods and parishes, carried by ordinary people who had witnessed unexpected blessings. The faithful began calling it the Miraculous Medal, a name born not from the Church, but from grateful hearts touched by divine mercy. Catherine remained unknown, yet her obedience had helped deliver a gift that stirred faith everywhere. The title Miraculous captured the love people felt through Mary's intercession. By 1876, the year Catherine died, more than 1 billion medals had been distributed throughout the world. From crowded cities to small villages, the medal brought comfort, healing, and conversion to countless souls. Its spread was nothing short of astonishing, carried by missionaries, families, and ordinary believers. Catherine's hidden yes had blossomed into a global fountain of grace, revealing how God uses humble hearts to pour light into the world. Chapter 6. The Church's Recognition of the Miraculous Medal. By 1835, as the medal spread with unexpected speed, the Diocese of Paris opened a formal canonical investigation to discern its authenticity. The Church approached the matter with calm seriousness, desiring to protect the faithful while remaining open to the movements of grace. Witness testimonies were gathered carefully, and the early fruits of devotion were examined. Everything was placed before God in prayerful trust during this period of discernment and continued faithfully. Catherine remained completely hidden throughout the process, never revealing her identity as the visionary. Her quiet fidelity allowed the investigation to proceed without personal influence or distraction. She lived her ordinary duties with humility, offering her silence as an act of obedience. This anonymity strengthened the objectivity of the inquiry, permitting church authorities to examine the events freely, guided by grace rather than human acclaim or curiosity during those crucial months together. The Church evaluated the apparition through careful theological principles, examining the seer's moral integrity, the consistency of the account, and its harmony with established doctrine. Catherine's humility strengthened confidence, for nothing in her testimony conflicted with the teachings of the faith. Spiritual fruits already visible among the faithful added further credibility, helping investigators discern God's gentle action unfolding through these extraordinary events, entrusted quietly to her with trust, guiding their final prayer. In 1836, Archbishop Hyacinthe Louis de Quélen granted approval for the medal to be produced according to Catherine's vision. His decision came after prayerful reflection and consultation with trusted advisors. This authorization allowed the Church to embrace the devotion publicly, giving the faithful confidence to receive the medal with reverence. Catherine's name remained unknown, yet her obedience had opened the way for Mary's message to reach countless hearts seeking hope and comfort. In 1894, Pope Leo XIII established the Feast of Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal to be celebrated on November 27th each year. This recognition affirmed the devotion's spiritual significance and encouraged the faithful to honor Mary's intercession with renewed trust. The feast became an annual reminder that Mary's maternal care continues guiding the Church. Believers welcomed this celebration as a sign of encouragement flowing from Mary's maternal heart for all. In 1947, Pope Pius XII canonized Catherine Labouré, recognizing not only her virtues but also the authenticity of the Marian apparitions she had received. The Church honored her humility, her hidden service, and her unwavering obedience to God's will. Through this canonization, believers were invited to imitate her trust. Her life became a testimony that extraordinary graces often rest upon simple hearts, listening faithfully to the quiet invitations of divine love today. Across many generations, successive popes granted plenary or partial indulgences to those who wore the medal with sincere faith. These blessings encouraged believers to approach Mary with deeper devotion, trusting in her intercession. The indulgences reflected the Church's confidence in the medal as a channel of grace. Through these spiritual gifts, countless hearts were strengthened, healed, and renewed. Mary continued guiding her children, drawing them ever closer to Christ through maternal care. Chapter 7. Notable Miracles and the Devotion that Followed. In 1833, St. John Gabriel Purboyer recounted a remarkable healing in China, attributed to the Miraculous Medal. He witnessed a suffering man regain strength after receiving the medal and trusting in Mary's intercession. The event touched the missionary deeply, strengthening his conviction that Mary accompanies her children even in foreign lands. Purboyer described the healing with humility, emphasizing that the grace belonged entirely to God, acting through the Virgin's maternal tenderness alone. In 1837, Archbishop de Quélen brought the Miraculous Medal to Dominique de Prat as he approached death. Prat, long distant from the Church, softened when the Archbishop prayed beside him and placed the medal upon his chest. Grace touched his heart, and he sought reconciliation with sincere humility. Those present witnessed a peaceful change that revealed Mary's care for every soul. Through this humble medal, God offered mercy in man's final moments. The conversion of Alphonse Ratisbonne became one of the most striking miracles connected to the Miraculous Medal. A Jewish man opposed to the church, he agreed to wear the medal only out of challenge. While visiting the church of Sant'Andrea della Frate, he suddenly saw the Virgin as depicted. Overwhelmed, he fell to his knees and believed. His conversion astonished priests and friends alike, becoming a testimony to Mary's maternal intervention forever. Saint John Vianney, the humble curé of Ars, welcomed the Miraculous Medal with deep trust in Mary's intercession. He placed a statue of Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal in his parish church, inviting his flock to seek her help in every need. With devotion, he consecrated the entire parish to Mary, asking her to guard their hearts. Many parishioners experienced faith through his encouragement, discovering peace and strength through Mary's guidance. Saint Maximilian Kolbe embraced the Miraculous Medal with extraordinary zeal for evangelization. He called it his spiritual bullet, a sign of Mary's protection and a tool for spreading faith. Through this devotion, he founded the Militia of the Immaculata, encouraging countless believers to carry the medal and entrust themselves to Mary. His missionary spirit reached many nations, inspiring hearts to trust Mary. Kolbe's love for the medal became a beacon of hope. Many ordinary believers have shared testimonies of healing, conversion, and deep peace through wearing the Miraculous Medal with faith. Some found physical relief in moments of suffering, while others experienced hope after long spiritual struggles. Families discovered reconciliation, and individuals burdened by fear felt courage. These stories, passed from person to person, revealed Mary's constant care. Each grace strengthened devotion, helping countless souls trust more deeply in God's mercy working through Mary. Across generations, the Miraculous Medal has become a cherished sign of devotion throughout the world. Missionaries carried it across oceans, and families kept it close during moments of fear and uncertainty. Its simple symbols spoke to heart, inviting all to trust Mary's protection. Through countless graces, the medal shaped a tradition of prayer that continues today. It remains a source of hope, drawing hearts toward Christ through the presence of his mother. Chapter 8. Prayer to Our Lady of the Miraculous Medal. O Immaculate Mary, you who appeared at Rue du Bac to draw our hearts back to your Son, look upon me with the same tenderness you showed to Catherine. Lead me ever closer to Christ, that my life may reflect his mercy. Hold my steps firmly in his light, and guide my soul along the path of faithful love each day. Pour upon my life the rays of grace that flow from your loving hands, just as you revealed in the vision. Let your heavenly light reach the hidden corners of my heart, renewing what is weary and strengthening what is weak. May your intercession obtain for me the spiritual gifts I often forget to ask for, opening my soul to trust more deeply in God's providence. Shield me, loving Mother, from every trap of the evil one and from all forms of harm that threaten my peace. Stand beside me when fear rises, and calm my spirit when doubts disturb my heart. Clothe me in the protection of your mantle, that I may walk with courage, knowing that no darkness can prevail where your gentle presence watches faithfully. Ignite within me a deep love for the Sacred Heart of Jesus and your own Immaculate Heart. Help me unite my joys, sorrows, and daily burdens with the love that flows from these two hearts. Teach me to live with humility, purity, and trust, so that my heart may become a dwelling place where Christ's tenderness and your maternal compassion can rest always. Grant the grace of conversion to those who have wandered far from God, that they may rediscover hope in his mercy. Touch wounded hearts with healing, soften hardened spirits, and awaken longing for truth. Through your intercession, may countless souls find their way home again, embracing the forgiveness and love that Christ offers generously to all who seek Him sincerely. Care for those who wear the miraculous medal, Mother, that each may feel your protection in moments of trial. Let this humble sign remind them of your nearness and fill their hearts with trust. Through its symbols, may they experience comfort, healing, and renewed strength, discovering in your presence a refuge of peace that leads them gently toward holiness. O Mary, conceived without sin, pray for us who have recourse to you, today and always. Surround us with your maternal love and bring our intentions to the heart of Jesus. May your intercession guide our steps and strengthen our faith. As we place our lives in your hands, help us walk in confidence, knowing you accompany us with tender care. Amen.